So I finally moved out of my parents' place, but unfortunately, I only have access to a single car garage. As you can see, I struggle to get into my car. This means that I gotta figure out a way to give myself a workbench that can be put away or folded away when I'm not using it and still be able to park my car. So my dad recommended me to get one of these folding workbench brackets from Princess Auto. I think I paid like $60 for it, and it's got a 500-pound capacity. Not that I'm ever gonna need 500 pounds, but you know, at least it's good to have. And I think it's a good alternative to a DIY one out of wood, because this one's already made and you just have to hook it up to the wall. Opening up the box, it only comes with screws and the 2 brackets that require you to hold up the piece of plywood or whatever tabletop you're using. I'm just going to be using some leftover plywood that I had from a build a long time ago that I brought with me to this house. It also came with this really basic manual, and it was really easy to follow. But if you watch this full video, you won't even need the manual. So yeah, that's what these look like, and now let's actually get started on mounting these. So like I said, I'm going to use this piece of plywood that I had lying around. It's just some scrap piece that I'm not going to use anytime soon. So first I got to mock it up to see how high I want it and to see where it will fold. This is my satisfied face. Next I'm going to use this cheapo stud finder to find the first stud. Nice. Haha, you're so funny. No, yeah, all jokes aside, I'm gonna find the first stud where I want my bracket to be, and then I'll do the same for the other bracket on the other stud. Next, I roughly mark how high I want my workbench to be. And once I'm happy marking up my wall, it's time to install this bad boy. I forgot to mention that you gotta mark up the second stud, but since I don't have a long enough level, I'm using this other piece of plywood and a smaller level to mark where the other bracket will go. And now I'm gonna drill the holes for the carriers. So these brackets have a mini hole and screw that you can use to mock up the actual brackets to the wall before you fully fix them to the wall. And it's pretty good because it uses a smaller screw, so if you mess up, you can take it out and there's less damage on your wall for you to fix up later. Now I have to mock up the plywood on top just so that I can see how high it is. I might actually lower this in the future because it might be a little too high, but it's okay for now. And I might actually change the plywood to a bigger piece when I do find another piece, but for now this will do. As you can see, it's pretty level. Now I gotta just make sure that the brackets are vertically level, and we can start installing the bigger screws to actually hold the full weight of the workbench. Good. Next thing I had to do was find screws that were long enough to go into the wood, but not too long that it will protrude outside the top of the plywood. And then I just did some final measurements to make sure that the plywood was centered. And I started pre-drilling and putting the screws in. And just like that, we have a foldable workbench that I can use when I need the garage, and I can fold it down when I need to park my cars in the garage. So far it seems pretty stable. It didn't rip out of the wall when I put my full weight on it, so I think this will be good enough for what I need it for. Again, I think this is a good alternative to building one yourself. I know there's a ton of videos out there where you can make these out of wood, but I feel like this takes the hassle out of it, and in some cases this might actually be cheaper with the prices of wood these days. And with that, I thank you guys for watching this video to the very end if you did, and I would greatly appreciate it if you guys dropped a like and a sub so that you guys can keep up with my future builds on this bench. And again, thanks for watching. Bye-bye!